Hey, and welcome to Podcast on Wheels, powered by Power Loops. Today, we have a special guest via web in the studio, someone that we met 3 years ago on a phone call about a supplement company and has turned into a friendship. Nikki Harris is a lady who has made some big adjustments in her life, has helped a lot of people. And at the end of the day, she's really just a badass that we're fortunate to have here on the show today. So, Nikki, tell us a little bit about maybe your childhood or your background and kind of what you do now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. So Nikki Harris, I am 36, mom of 2, wife of 1. I like to throw that in there. We live in Iowa. I am married to, we'll just go right into it, my one-night stand that I met as a rebound at a bar, and it turned into absolute wonderfulness here 13 years later. So can't complain about that. Turned out to be my best friend, exactly who I needed, and it's pretty cool how that happens. As far as childhood and such, I grew up on a farm over in Illinois as well. So really have that hard work mentality background. Never grew up with like the health standard per se. It was definitely like how much meat and potatoes with extra cheese and butter can we put on the plate kind of thing. Definitely struggled with weight and self-confidence a lot growing up. Got into college, the typical thing there. Ended up at Iowa State, getting a degree in animal science, which has absolutely nothing to do with what I do today. But it did give me some great before pictures and great networking opportunities. So that I'm going to call a win. But after Rob and I got married and had the kids, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, well, I don't want to look at me. There is no way I'm going to let him look at me. And that's not a really successful marriage. So got into health and nutrition, made all of the mistakes, but learned along the way how to do it right, and still learning, and fell in love with it. Decided to quit my job working for the USDA in 2020, launched my nutrition business and coaching business then, and we've been rolling with it ever since then. So that's kind of the quick recap, I suppose.
It's a great story. And, as we've talked, Courtney and I enjoy your Instagram because it paints a picture. We see you and your husband, we see your daughter making a shot, we see different things happening, and there's a lot of encouragement. And then I find a tip about, how to hold my stomach while I'm doing some planks, incline on the bench and different things. And so how do you help other women and what do you focus on there? Because I see an example, but what all do you go into with the women that you're helping now?
The biggest thing that I focus on with them is to, one, not compare themselves to any version of themselves that they used to be, nor anyone else that they're looking at. Because, let's be honest, we can use people as, encouragement. We can use them as motivation. We can use them as like a similarity of something we'd like to aspire to be alike. But the first thing that I really encourage them to do is to find exactly who they want to be and what their future self is capable of being. Because to be totally transparent, I never realized what I was capable of becoming. If I would have focused on what I was before so much, I'd have never been here. So that's like the first thing I really focus on with them. And then I really like to portray like the whole lifestyle. I've been the ultra disciplined. I've done the grit. I've done the crazy programs time and time again. Right. I have done all of that, but that helped teach me something that I take away. And now I've learned how to truly lead by example and a balance, and how to help people improve that food relationship, and how to understand they can enjoy cake and pizza. God almighty, you should see the cake that we have at the party tonight for my daughter's birthday. But to also turn around and know how to hold your core properly during a workout, because I'm learning how to do that now too. It's all about constantly learning. It's all about building confidence in who you want to become, not who you used to be.
Yeah, and I'm gonna steal something from somebody that we both highly respect, Ed Milet. And I saw this quote on your Instagram, the person we can help the most is the person we used to be, right? So, by you implementing the things that you've been able to do, how do you stay one step ahead of these ladies? How do you continue to evolve so that you can continue to be that amazing leader? What do you look at in your life?
Honestly, I think when I find myself being bored or not being challenged, I see what other ailment I may struggle with. And how can I fix that and improve it? How can I heal it? Because if I'm struggling with it, even at this point in my journey, there's absolutely other people that follow me or that don't follow me yet that struggle with it as well. That's what brought me into the whole, breathing and how to breathe properly and proper core bracing and pelvic floor health and things of that nature. So that stuff has all come into it as well. And really, when I look at that, it just helps me keep on solving the issues. Like Ed always says, you can help the people that you used to be most. So if I learn how to heal from X, Y, and Z, then I can now help people that struggle with it currently with that. So that's how I really look at it.
Step into the future with Power Loops, the king of off-grid power, where our proprietary system is changing the game of energy. This isn't just power, it's freedom. The freedom to live, work, and play anywhere, powered by our innovative technology that taps into the Earth's natural energy. Our system is designed for efficiency, durability, and sustainability, ensuring that you have reliable power 365 days a year without harming the planet. Whether you're traveling in the RV, the remote wilderness, or just opting out of traditional power grids, Power Loops provides the ultimate solution. Join us in leading the charge towards a cleaner, greener, and more empowered world. Power Loops, the king of off-grid energy. That's awesome. That's awesome. And one cool thing that I took from something you said earlier, if, when you got with your husband, if you didn't want to look at yourself, he wasn't going to look at you, and that wouldn't make a healthy marriage. So it's really cool, to hear that there's a guy out there that has earned that and deserves that, and the wife is there with him. So y'all's relationship is just adorable. So, it's what do you guys do to keep it fresh, to make it fun?
Oh my gosh. I would be lying if I said that our marriage wasn't hard. We've gone through some very rocky times. I'm sure you and Courtney have as well. There's been dark times, there's been questionable times, but he loves me regardless, right? He fell in love with me heavy, God almighty. Loved me through 2 kids, all the things. He loved me the second I walked out of that delivery room, but I didn't love me. And that's what I've had to really hit home with him, is like, I had to love me again in order to be comfortable with him loving me. So that was that biggest thing. Sorry if you can hear the heater back there. But really, to keep it fresh and fun, we just really try to have a lot of conversations. We honestly have like a 15-20 minute chat every morning after his workout, before mine, catch up on life, joke around, whatever. And then, we still like chase each other around with snapping towels. He always wins those wars. He'll walk up to me mid workout and mess around with me while I'm trying to breathe, or, whatever. We just like to play and date still, essentially.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Like when you were on the playground and you'd go, punch the kid, that's awesome. You're still kids and you're enjoying each other's company. Yeah. Yeah. Trust me. It's more fun when it's that way, right? You don't have to be so serious about all the BS.
Oh my gosh.
No,
we were
so
always
cool
serious about all the BS, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And how is growing up on a farm, and now also, how does that impact how people view you, or how you're able to communicate with people? Obviously, the hard work and the work ethic, you're not going to be a farmer long if you don't have that. But,
True.
How has some of those stories maybe parlayed into life lessons that you've been able to help people with?
I think that growing up on a farm is one thing, right? You grow up with that work ethic, with having to, be a part of the team. And if you don't hold your end of the bargain, well, then you get mom's dirty eye and dad's nasty look as well, and you have to go get it done. Otherwise it doesn't get done. And, we also won together too. We had a lot of wins as a family, good crop years, or we showed livestock. And when we won big shows and stuff, like, we celebrated together too. So we had that really close bond. And that really came in to be the same when I married Rob and his family. Like, we farm together with his family out here. Like his parents live 3 miles away. His brother lives 2 miles away. His great grandpa lives a mile up the road. Like we are here together. So we work together, we win together, we lose together. I think that's a big piece of how I run my coaching program too. Not only do I help a lot of rural wives and moms and stuff too, but we work as a community, right? Like I build up people so we can help support each other because I'm not a rock star every single day, but I lean on the people that I'm closest to in our community to help pick me back up on slow days too. So I think it just really bleeds into that.
Yeah. And that's so your community. And that's just beautiful. It is beautiful when, because we hear a lot of the BS. The guy I did a show with earlier, he said he cut the news off 10 years ago and hadn't turned it back on because a lot of what we hear is not what you're saying. I mean, you're a solid person. You're with your family. You guys are working hard. You guys are making a difference. You're helping people. You're providing for people. And that's kind of what this show's about. It's people out there that, no, you're not going to feel like a rock star every day, but how did you build that people around you? How did you find the mentor or coach or teammate? How did you find that person to keep you on the rock star status?
Ooh. Trial and error. You automatically click with certain people that have the right energy, right? And the coolest thing about my community is it runs from one side of the country to the other. One of my closest friends lives in Chico, California. One of the other closest friends that I have lives in a very small town, Wisconsin. I would have never been connected with them without this community. And now we talk every single day. And it is not about macros and recipes. It is like, what did my kid do? Oh my God, this happened. How are we going to get through it? There was an accident. Like we find those people because we attract the same energies, and we find the people that we need to most, and we can build through hard times together, that we can lean on them constantly. And now we meet up and stuff throughout the year and everything too. So that's fun. But yeah.
That's so awesome. And that's one thing that I'm going to say thank you that I've picked up from following you on Instagram and paying attention to everything is the energies and the more people that I find that I align with, that energy is reciprocated or they have a vibe that I'm trying to attract. So when did you start getting in tune with that, the vibe, the energy? Is that something that's recent? Have you always looked at that as far as finding teammates or friends?
I think I was really, really easily influenced before. And I won't go into specifics on that for reasons, but I was very, very influenced on the people that I thought that I admired for a long time. And I allowed that to really direct how I ran my own business and my things and my relationships. And honestly, within the last year, I have really unraveled who in the fuck I want to be. I am so tired of living by someone else's rules and standards. So I really gave that piece up, which was a really big Band-Aid to rip off. But I really started to just make a name for myself. What is best for me, my family, my business? What can I do to keep improving there? And so I think that sense of resiliency and really digging deeper for what I truly want, what truly makes me happy, has made a big difference. But I don't remember what the question was. Did that answer it?
Just truly finding yourself. And then it's been my experience that again, I'll reference a story I heard from Ed Milet, but every year you evolve, you grow, you get better, or you're going to be stagnant. And there's a story that he says with that, but as you evolve and you grow, are the people in your tribe, your family, are they attracting to your energy now that you have that rock star energy, that you're able to bring that, I
think so. I mean, it's, it goes both ways, right? Like the energy that I have both says caring and sensitive and I understand, but it also says like, get your shit together. And it also says like, get tougher and push through. So I have like this interesting mixture of how I handle different people. And the energy, I think, either weeds people out or builds people up. And if you're not ready to have that kind of energy surrounding you, then people leave. But it also is going to attract more of those people that are like me, that do want to have that type of personality. And it just grows what we have a bit more. And it's all about that energy. It is all about that.
Yeah, it is. It is because, my definition of success has changed recently. I used to have a dollar number in mind and maybe a location of a couple houses, but the relationships and the energy is what it's all about for us, and I feel that from you is because you take, okay, you got a great relationship with your husband for the most part, because we're all married and we understand it can be that, but and then you have relationships with food, and you have different, you have different relationships with food, right? And things, but teach us how you went from, past is maybe a eating disorder or not being on point to developing this system and really checking yourself there and being able to accomplish that, because I know there's going to be somebody listening that is who you were, so.
Yeah. This one goes a bit deeper, obviously. So I was never like diagnosed with an eating disorder, but what I was doing was definitely disordered eating. I grew up overeating. Like I remember vividly sitting in a friend's garage eating an entire sheet of pumpkin bars by myself just because. No idea why. Tasted good. Did it. Right. Also, like all the college things. We won't even go details there. You can just imagine. But like after that, and after I found like health, right? I understood how to control food. But I also struggled with that binge. And I had these really weird stress triggers that would lead me to have very ugly binges, like those big Sam's Club type M&M containers. I remember eating like 3/4 of one in one sitting, just mowing down. But my solution to that then became laxatives. And I started to abuse those for some time, and I didn't tell anybody. Rob didn't know about it. Parents didn't know about it. Nobody knew about it. But meanwhile, I'm sitting there like praying I'm not waking anybody up while I'm trying to get rid of the mistake I just made. And it wasn't a pretty time. And I just like remember waking up one day and I was like, this is not who the heck I'm supposed to be. This is not healthy. This is not, I don't feel good. I learned what laxatives actually do to your system. And I'm like, wow, I'm really screwing myself up now. And so I got rid of those, told Rob everything that I'd been doing. He was super supportive. Once again, best man ever. And we started really working through it. And he just always reassures me like, hey, like you're amazing. I hope that you see how strong you are, because I'm all about being strong. I'm not worried about trying to be the leanest person anymore. But really just trying to lead by example as far as being strong and healthy. So, working through, like, I cleaned out all the junk food, right? I went through a really long phase where we did not do any junk food, all whole foods, no added sugars, none of the excess ingredients. I did that for a long time, healed my gut health. Once your gut health heals, your brain starts to think a lot clearer. You don't have those weird cravings anymore. You don't want to binge anymore. I went through a big gain phase over the last 6 months, put on like 20 pounds. Say probably 15 of that was muscle. And it was a really intense situation to just like expect myself to grow.
Here at Smith Financial Services, we take care of small business owners, 1099 contract workers, and their families. We know insurance can be rough if you're a small business owner, so we are here to make things easy. Visit our website, smithfinancial.services, to learn more.
But it also healed that food relationship, because I remember sitting there eating all of this clean food, and I looked around, I'm like, I don't want to eat anymore. I'm so full.
Right.
And he's like, I've never heard you say that before. Right. And so when I started peeling that back, it was like, I finally clicked. Like, yes, you can have that cookie or that ice cream, and it's not going to be a detriment to you. Turn around and make your next best choice. Right. You don't have to go and run 12 miles to work it off.
Right.
Just make your next best choice. And it just really helped heal that. So it's been quite an array of time. And it took a long time to heal it. But that's what I kind of started working through.
That's so cool, because the common theme that and obviously we've talked a few times but the common theme here that I'm hearing from you is it almost feels like you're constantly in self-reflection on how you can be a better Nikki every day. And that is so cool to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that would be extremely accurate.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, there's so much freedom in that I wish more people could experience it, right? When you check yourself every day and you're doing so many things for so many other people that you don't have time to feel helpless, or you don't have time to feel like you're not doing the right thing. So, if there's moms out there that are looking for guidance and help, how would they find you, Nikki? What do you offer? Your programs, like what could you help them with?
Yeah, I mean, I help a variety of, if we're talking moms, I help a variety of moms in different ways with different programs. So, first and foremost, I have a free Facebook group, which who doesn't have a Facebook group, but mine's over 3,000 people, but
Wow.
it's very much, I'm in there every day. I post really quality stuff in there every day. The people are interactive in there all the time, right? There's always quality content in there, whether you participate or not, you're there to at least take in the content. So there's free. I do have my website as well that you can go and look at. And I can send you that if you want to put a link in or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's going to lead you to all of my coaching and all that stuff. I do have a one-on-one coaching that I run 4 times a year. I also have my app, NH Fitness app, and that has 3 different levels of coaching programming in it. And we just really work through whatever that individual needs. For people that want more of that one-on-one help, we put them into the highest tier of the coaching program, at least for a few months, teach them about food, give them assessment reviews every week, check-in reviews for, hey, if you're struggling with hunger, we need to swap this and this. Or if your kids won't eat that, let's swap this and this. You guys can eat as a family, but still make progress towards your goals. Let's try walking, drinking more water, maybe going to sleep a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Like I really attack it for ways with different people, but I can make it as individualized or as streamlined as any individual wants.
Awesome. So somebody doesn't have to look like you to come work with you. Is that what you're telling me?
God, no. No, I want them to end up looking better anyway.
There you go.
And that's what's awesome about it.
Yeah.
So I have a number of people that their progress has been outstanding. So I'm thrilled to see them continue just, they've graduated and now they're just consistently maintaining it, which is amazing. So you can be at any point. I help people that are 200 pounds overweight. I help people that need to gain 20 pounds, right? Both ends of the spectrum.
Right. And there's evidence of that in your Instagram, some before and afters, and there's some before and afters of you. Like you said, some of those college pictures made some good before pictures. But, the thing that you said earlier, and I want to draw attention to this because of things that you struggled with in your past, you said you've gained about 20 pounds and 15 of that being muscle. Right. So in order to do something like that and monitor that, Nick, there's some people that are like, well, how does she know she gained 15 pounds of muscle? And I got on the scales and I gained 10 pounds. But how do they track that kind of stuff? How would you help somebody know how much muscle versus what are they gaining?
Sure. I mean, there's like really fancy equipment that you can go and pay to use, like DEXA scans and bod pods and such. I didn't do that this time, right? So like I said, it's a guesstimate, but here's the deal. When you're gaining muscle, yes, your pants are going to get tighter. You might go up in a pant size, but you're going to fill them out a lot different. So there's a big difference there. I went from being like a small, extra small, a couple years ago to rocking like a medium these days. And I'm pretty cool with that.
Yes.
But you think at my lowest, I was 141 and now I'm sitting at like 169, 170.
Okay.
And I can still wear some of the same clothes. So if you're still wearing some of the same clothes or you're just filling them out a little bit better, that's muscle. It's not like I've got this big flabby gut hanging out of veins or anything. Like it's just how much stronger are you? How much faster are you running? How much are you lifting? Those are all big key factors of your progress that would be muscle over fat kind of thing.
Yeah. And so I think just about 2 weeks ago, I tossed my scales back in the cabinet in the bathroom because I'm like, I hate looking at these things, because sometimes I still get caught up and this morning was at 2:33 or was at 2:35, and did I do this yesterday? And it's so refreshing to hear somebody of your caliber, your status, say it's okay to have that pizza, because as you're celebrating, your daughter's birthday, Courtney's birthday was on Monday, so we're going out for that tonight. So there's going to be some cake and there's going to be some enjoyment time. So, but Nikki, as we kind of, are y'all having a big party tonight for her?
Not really. No, going bowling with some 10-year-olds. It's going to be really ecstatic.
That's going to be a great story. There's going to be a story there. So as we wrap,
yeah, there always does.
yeah, as we kind of wrap up the show here, Nikki, and thank you for so much of the insight and all the nuggets and the honesty, really, and just being real. Is there a quote? Is there a statement? Is there something that you could look into the camera, and if somebody fast forwards to the end of the show and says, well, what did she say at the end? Because Brian tries to prompt them to say something, what would you share as a encouragement or guidance or motto or get off your ass and get to work? Whatever you want to say here.
Oh God, I can write paragraphs. I mean, right. I think that the main thing, my calling card says, get out of your own damn way, and that's a pretty standard statement anymore. But really, when you break it down, I think it's really important to really think through all those different steps. Like, what does it take to get out of your own damn way in all sincerity? Is it you having an honest conversation with your husband? Is it you becoming more present with your kids? Is it you putting down your phone during basketball games instead of, checking Facebook when your kid's trying to score a goal? Because that used to be me. I did that stuff too, right? What does it take to get out of your own damn way? Does it take you cleaning out your pantry? Does it take you learning or investing into a coach to help you learn? Does it take you buying a gym membership or a new pair of shoes, or even just that first pair of dumbbells at home? What does it take for you to get out of your own damn way? I think that is the biggest piece. You need to sit down and really reflect on you and what it takes for you to do that. It's just not a matter of you getting up and moving. It's about you doing the things that make sense, taking the steps that you need to do in order to get to where you want to be.
It's really that simple, isn't it?
It really is. It's simple, but it's hard.
That's what I love about that true statement that you just made. And thank God for people like you and others that do similar things that you do in your network you've built, Nikki. Like I said, you've inspired us in many ways. And it's based off of your consistency. You post a lot, you share a lot, you're engaged, and, just a welcoming spirit to help so many people. And thank God for people like you, Nikki, and your family, and farming and helping and being real. Thank you so much. So, Nikki, what's your website or something? Hit us something right here so we can.
Honestly, the easiest way for people to probably follow me is Instagram, which is ANHarris915. And my link is right there to you right to my website to look for everything you need, from my app to the supplements I recommend to different coaching options and everything in between.
All right, Nikki, again, thank you so much for being here. And thank you guys for watching Podcast on Wheels, powered by Power Loops.